recorded live in Jacksonville, Florida. This is Trivial Warfare. More than just a pub quiz, Trivial Warfare is your gateway to a worldwide trivia community. Join your hosts, Jonathan.
We just described Ric Flair as Neanderthal Man and Planet of the Apes.
Carmela.
That would irritate the hell out. I'm like, I just want my groceries. My ice cream is melting.
Ben.
4 halogens in that list? Oh my God.
You're like, it's not the halogens. I'm like, no, Ben, no.
Those damn halogens got me again.
Aaron.
I haven't started cooking more, but I have started thinking about cooking more, so I've looked at a lot of recipes for things. Mostly cocktails.
Zakia.
I'm a very happy evil genius.
Yeah.
And Nick.
For all the listeners out there, if you spend enough money, you can be where I am today.
And the rest of the Trivial Warfare Army for another week of fun and games. Now here's your host, Jonathan Oakes.
Hello and welcome back to another episode of Trivial Warfare. We are the podcast that takes the pub quiz out of the pub and brings it home to you. My name is Jonathan and I am here today with Nikki Bates. Hello, Nikki.
Good morning, Jonathan.
Good morning. Nikki, it's your first time hosting today. Are you nervous?
I'm a little bit nervous, but then everyone on here is like wonderful. I know you all, and you're all very nice, patient people. Nudge, nudge, patient people for my first time. And, this whole community is great. So not really. I'm excited.
Beautiful. Well, I'm excited too. And let me introduce our guest today. First up, Bryan Nash is with us. Hello, Bryan.
Hello, hello, hello.
Hello, awesome to have you. Tamara Fleishman's with us today. Hello, Tamara.
Hello, everyone.
Hello, and Stuart Everett's with us today. Hello, Stuart.
Hello. Morning, y'all.
Good morning. All right. I want to get to know all of you a little bit better. Bryan, we're going to start with you. Tell everybody where you're from, what you do, and something fun about yourself.
Hi, I'm Bryan Nash. I'm from Muscatine, Iowa, right on the Mississippi River. By day, I'm a government wage slave. I drive a desk. But something fun about myself. I've been holding on to this one just specifically to tell everybody the story because it's hilarious. I butt dialed a Discord server into existence.
Really?
Yes.
That is a godly power. Tell us about it.
I know. I went out to mow the yard. I come back in and my wife pulled out her phone, looked at it and said, "Why did you invite me to a Discord server?" And I went, "What? No, I didn't." And I pulled my phone out and discovered that I didn't have a lock screen on it. And somehow it being in my pocket while I was out and working and sweating in the yard, it created a Discord server. And I sent out invites to about a dozen friends, and it says something that my friends went, "Okay, I don't know what this is, but sure, let's do this." And
okay, all due respect to your wife, but that's an impressive butt, Bryan.
So, of course, the server it's still there. This happened a couple months ago, but we still have the server. It's called Butt Dials or Us.
That, you know what? It does say something about your friends that they all just went ahead and joined. That's pretty great.
Yeah, and I do now have a lock screen on my phone.
Smart man. Smart man. Oh, Bryan, it's great to have you here. Thanks for joining us. Tamara, tell everybody where you're from, what you do, and something fun about yourself.
I live in Orange County, California, a very small suburbia. I'm an accountant by day, a staff accountant, not a tax accountant. So I'm busy year-round, not just in the early year.
Sure.
And something fun, I think the last time I was on here, I talked about how I'm the strange woman in Orange County who is a hockey mom, ice hockey, not a soccer mom. Although now I am a hockey mom to 2 kids. My oldest is a goalie who is playing on a 14U travel team this year. And now my youngest, who is 7, has also decided to try out goalie. And we haven't decided yet if that is because he wants to be like his brother or he wants to torture his brother.
Why would it torture his brother?
Because if he goes out and he does it better than his brother, he can then force his brother to live that down.
I get it. I was a younger brother, and I always enjoyed doing anything that would show my older brother that I was superior. That was one of my hobbies.
Yes.
So sorry, Bob. But I did win a lot. He would disagree. Oh, Tamara, it's great to have you here. Thanks for joining us. Stuart, tell everybody where you're from, what you do, and something fun about yourself.
Sure. Stuart Everett. I'm from Kingsport, Tennessee, opposite corner of Tennessee from Memphis. And up here in the Smoky Mountains, I work for a good-sized chemical company. I'm a chemical engineer by education. During COVID, passed the patent bar, became a patent agent, and just recently, in the last couple of months, I moved into a new position where I kind of sit between the chemists and engineers and the legal department, and I'm the translator that
do you
coordinates.
Speak Chemgineer?
I do, and legalese. It's kind of crazy, but yeah, I do a lot of the secrecy agreements and patent applications, and just kind of have a foot in both words.
Very cool.
That is not something fun about me. That's just
I agree.
Something fun about me. I have a lot of hobbies. Some are short-lived and some stick around a while. One of the ones that's stuck around, I've spent a lot of time this week crocheting. That was last year's new things that I learned. I've been working on something that I got to hand off up at SporkleCon next week. This year's new thing to learn is soldering. I'm going to be putting together some first-person goggle remote control airplanes and drones, and I've got to up my soldering skills to get those assembled.
Holy moly. Did you say, so you would be controlling the drone with your goggles?
Yeah, you got like a camera in the aircraft and then goggles on your face, so it's like you're sitting in the cockpit of the plane. And the range on these things is crazy now. You could be wild. 2 miles, 3 miles away from where you're standing. Yeah, it's kind of cool.
That is very cool. So you could like one of the things we've talked about is getting a drone with a camera because we live on a marsh. Mm-hmm. And we were talking about, fly the drone out over the marsh. And I mean, you don't have to go a few hundred feet and you're going to a place where you can't see anywhere else.
Yeah.
So that's a really cool concept that you do.
I don't know if I'll have it put together by the next time I'm down that way, but yeah, one of these trips I'll bring it down. We'll do some of that. It'll be fun.
That's very cool. I love that. We can get it up over the ocean and look at all the sharks. Ah!
Yes.
Mjolnir just fell. I don't know if y'all saw that fall, but it just took a dive.
It sounded like a glass with a lot of ice in it.
Well, it was coffee, but we'll live.
Omen? Maybe you're going to have a lot of meow meows.
Maybe. Well, Stuart, it's great to have you here. We're going to have a great time. I know it because the people here are awesome. Going to have a lot of fun. We're going to get started right now with Warm It Up, Chris.
It's time to warm it up on Trivial Warfare today. And there's only one person who can warm it up for the TWA, and that's Chris. And sometimes Jonathan.
And this is Nikki's first Warm It Up, Chris.
It is. I'm going to get that pulled up right now. Okay, today's Warm It Up, Chris, comes to us from Marina Del Rey, who is a Sporkle user. I stumbled across this game on Sporkle, and I thought this would make a great Warm It Up, Chris round.
Thank you, Marina Del Rey. Isn't that a place, though?
Yeah, it's in California, right?
Yeah, I feel like I've been there.
Yeah. It's a place. It's a Sporkle user. It's a Warm It Up, Chris. So we are doing, if they were playable, which countries would score higher 18 points or more in Scrabble? And this includes multiple word countries. We are going by Sporkle definition of a country. Okay?
You guys can definitely use your phone to type some things out or grab a pencil and write some things down if you need to.
So again,
you said
if they were
18
playable,
points or higher?
Yep. If they were playable, which countries would score more than 18 points in Scrabble? And we will go with Tamara first. Tamara, what do you want to go with?
Kyrgyzstan.
Kyrgyzstan is on there. That is a correct answer. Stuart, let's go next.
How about Democratic Republic of the Congo?
You stole
The
my
DRC.
first answer.
That is in there. Good plan going with the multi-word countries. Democratic Republic of the Congo is the top answer with 50 points. Nice job. All right, Bryan, let's go with you.
Happily, nobody took my immediate first answer. I'm going with Mozambique.
Mozambique coming in at 34 points. Nice job. And Jonathan.
Let's see here. Just really quick. That's 6 plus 6. That's at least 18. I'm going to say the United States of America.
United States of America is 29 points. That is correct. All right, Tamara, back to you.
It would help if I remembered how much each letter is worth.
I mean, we could probably help you. If you want
helpful.
to throw out a letter, we can give you something.
Q's and Z's are worth a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, I was going to go with Brazil.
Brazil is sadly not on the list despite containing a Z. Stuart, back to you.
How about Uzbekistan?
Uzbekistan is on the list. That is worth 25 points. Bryan.
Let's stick with the stands and go Tajikistan.
Tajikistan. I'm not sure. I always see it in print. But Tajikistan is also on the list. That is worth 21 points. Nice job. Jonathan, back to you.
I'll grab a random stand and say Kazakhstan.
Kazakhstan has a Z, couple of K's in there. That's a good guess. That is worth 30 points. Nice job. Tamara, back to you.
It's too early in the morning to think of country names.
Multiple words are helpful. So if you know any multiple word countries, that's usually helpful because more letters.
I'm going to go with Afghanistan.
Afghanistan is on the list with 18
Right
points.
on the money.
Squeaked by there. Nice job. All right, Stuart, back to you.
I'm not sure on the point count on this one. I'm going to say South Africa.
I was just looking
South.
at that. I think it's like 16 or 17.
It's really close.
It is 19. You
Oh,
made
you got it.
19 points. You made it. All right, Bryan, back to you.
Oh, let's jump out to a little bit different. The multi-word made me come up with United Arab Emirates.
United Arab Emirates is 23 points. You guys are doing very well on this. This is
How
maybe
many-
a little
how
too
many
easy
are there?
for you guys. There are 40.
Oh, well, we're not going to 40 for sure.
Mm-mm.
No. I'm just asking the ones that have. Yeah, we won't. There's no way we'll get all of them.
Beautiful.
All right, Jonathan.
New Zealand.
New Zealand. It's multiple words and it has a Z in it. That is 23 points. That is a correct answer. Tamara, back to you.
You stole the one I just thought of. South Sudan.
South Sudan is multi-word, but sadly not on the list.
Too many common letters.
Stuart, over to you.
How about Zambia?
Zambia is on the list. That is 19 points.
Good job.
Near the
Combined
bottom.
with
Did I
these.
make you nervous?
Did.
Bryan, over to you.
Well, we did the DRC. How about just the Republic of the Congo?
Yeah.
Republic of the Congo has 33 points. Nice job. And Jonathan.
Double checking myself here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. The Solomon Islands.
Solomon Islands. It's multi-word. I'm double checking because I don't see it here. It is not
Really?
on the list.
I've got, I don't know if you count the in there, but.
I don't count the.
Okay, well, let's see here. So an L is 2 and an M is 3, right?
Nope. L is 1.
L is 1 now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Okay. D is worth, yeah, I'm sorry. I thought L was worth 1. My bad.
I appreciate your diligence, sir. Tamara, this is the last time around. Tamara, can you come up with one last answer?
Philippines.
The Philippines are on there with 20 points. Stuart, what you got for me?
How about Ivory Coast?
Ivory Coast, I believe on Sparkle it is
Or is it
Cote
Côte
d'Ivoire,
d'Ivoire?
but I am not seeing it on here. Not on the list. All right,
So-
Bryan.
I don't think anybody's said it yet. How about Zimbabwe?
Zimbabwe is on there. Zimbabwe. Let's see, how much is Zimbabwe worth? You guys can probably add it up faster than I'll find it. 26 points. 26 points. That's a pretty high scoring one.
Nice.
And Jonathan, finish us out.
I'm going to finish us out with the home of a lot of good baseball players, the Dominican Republic.
Dominican Republic, 28 points. That is on there. So nice job. That was your warm it up, Chris.
I am
warm it up,
disappointed in missing one with the Solomon Islands there. I should have done better.
That played easier than I thought it would. Or maybe you guys are just really smart.
I mean, you were giving a lot of hints about look for multi-word countries there. If you give hints, then we're going to do pretty good probably.
Well, I'm very helpful.
I'm going to sound dumb here. Sometimes I got to check myself. Is Papua New Guinea a country?
Yes.
Yes.
Papua New
Yes.
Guinea is a country.
All right.
And
I
is
knew it was
there
on the
for 22
island.
points.
It's on the island of New Guinea, right? No, yeah. What's the island? It shares it with Indonesia.
Yeah. It's like half of that. Like the left half of it is like flat where it's divided in half.
But the name of the,
Yeah.
the island is just New Guinea?
I
Isn't
think
the
you're right.
island isn't the island called Borneo?
No, I think that's a different island.
Okay.
That's why I didn't answer Papua New Guinea. I wasn't sure if it was the island or the country.
It is a country. Yep, you are correct. And that would have been on there. That was your warm it up, Chris. Thanks, guys.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I'm looking to see here what the name of that island is.
I think you're right. I think it is New Guinea.
I think it is too. The western half, known as Western New Guinea, forms part of Indonesia. Yeah, it is New Guinea. Cool.
I was going to say Old Guinea.
Yeah, right. That is your warm it up, Chris. Thank you, Nikki. Guys, this is going to be episode number 494. We are marching to 500. It's going to be here before we know it. We scheduled it a while back. I can't believe we're already this close. Today's show is going to be on the main feed, so I want to say thank you to everybody listening. We are glad you are here, and if you want more of this, you can go to trivialwarfarearmy.com, sign up as a sergeant or higher, and you'll get access to a ton of old episodes that you can't get anywhere else. We're going to have an amazing game today. It's going to be Tamara and Bryan versus Stuart and Jonathan. Nikki is hosting, and it's time to play the game.
Players. Oh, yeah. Y'all know what time it is. This is Mr. Literature himself, cordially inviting you to the game. This is 6 rounds of trivia goodness. 3 questions per round. Every right answer gets you 10 points. In the middle, we'll take a pause for the cause and ask a midpoint question worth up to 20 juicy points. After round 6, you can wager any or all those points you've been building up and take a shot at the final round. It's a series of theme-based questions we call the Gauntlet. It's just that easy, baby. But this game ain't gonna play itself, players. Let's get it on.
All right. First of all, this is my first game. So I want to tell you guys, I did write most of this with some help from Rob Warman, who has been wonderful. So if you like my questions, thank you very much. If you don't like my questions, then you should email me some questions at nikki@trivialwarfare.com. All right.
Beautiful.
Round 1. Question
And thank you, Rob.
1. Yeah. Thank you, Rob. This one comes to us from Nikki Bates. Category is animals. The question is, you've heard of a two-toed sloth, but what is the only type of bird with a didactyl foot?
I've heard of a pterodactyl foot. I wonder if that means they had 4. Where's our chat? There it is.
What am I supposed to be setting the timer for?
4 minutes usually.
Okay.
When you say type of bird, are you meaning specifically a species or a family of birds?
I don't need you to be that specific.
Okay, so for example,
So, for instance, you could say
if it was a
robin,
mallard duck, we could just say duck.
Correct.
Gotcha. Could I just answer bird?
You may not. I will ask you to be more specific if you answer bird.
Gotcha.
Okay, we're going to go ahead and lock in.
So, Stuart, I'm not sure if there's a clue here that I'm missing. You know, I'm looking for something and I don't see one. So, right now, what we've thought is it's not going to be a water-based bird because they're going to have webbed feet, right? So not penguins or whatever. Not chickens. Probably not a raptor. Like when you see an eagle dive bomb something, it grabs with multiple claws front and back.
Right.
So probably a bird that stays on land is kind of where we're at the moment. And we're talking about the ostrich because it's kind of a unique bird. What about like a roadrunner or something like that?
The cartoon one has more than 2 toes.
Fair enough. You know what?
It would be tricky. I'm picturing an ostrich foot almost looking like a hoof. It's like 2 toes with claws. And if there is a third toe, it's way up high, kind of up near an ankle.
I don't know, man. I mean, I don't have an answer. I haven't been able to figure out an answer. And we're pretty much
I'm good with
I
ostrich.
Yeah, we can go ostrich. It stands out as a unique bird, which is also something that I wanted, like one that didn't fit with any other family of a bird. So we'll guess the ostrich.
Okay, both teams are locked in. Tamara and Bryan, what'd you guys answer?
We also weren't sure, but we talked it through about that it wouldn't be something with webbed feet. It wasn't going to be a raptor. So we also ended up locking in with a guess of the ostrich.
Hey. If we're wrong together, baby.
Both teams locking in with ostrich. Well, I will tell you, anisodactyl has 3 toes out front and 1 in back. That helps for perching. Zygodactyl has 2 in front, 2 in back. And the only bird with a didactyl foot is the ostrich.
Whoa!
Both teams getting it correct on the first one. Good start to the game.
Nikki's first question in the back.
All right, round 1, question 2. This comes to us from Rob Warman. Thank you, Rob.
Thank you, Rob.
And your category,
Warman.
your category is geography.
Geography.
There are only 2 countries whose national flags each feature a map of that nation. In both cases, this design choice was made to emphasize unity in the face of a divisive history. Name either country.
So, Nikki, we don't have to name. There's 2 countries that have this type of flag, and we've got to name either one of those countries.
That is correct.
Yeah.
You guys have about 1 minute left. We're just about at 4 minutes, so I'm going to need answers from both teams pretty quickly here.
Okay, we're going to go ahead and lock in.
Okay, Bryan and Tamara are locked in. Jonathan and Stuart, you can talk it out.
So neither one of us knows the flag. We talked through a bunch of countries. Tanzania seemed appealing because it's made of 2 other countries and combined into one. We talked about something in Central America, maybe. We talked about a few different things. In the end, we're going to go, I think, Stuart, if you're agreeable to it, I think we're going to go with Vietnam, which had obviously the North and South. And now
I had one last second thought to throw in there.
What you got?
And maybe just a quick dismiss, but Mozambique had a very long civil war after
I think Mozambique has
Portugal
a
pulled out.
AK-47 on the
It's got AK-47 and like a garden hoe crossed, and I'm trying to remember if there's a map of the country in the back.
I don't think so. I think it's just the gun.
I like Vietnam. We can do that.
All right, we're going to say Vietnam.
Stuart and Jonathan are locked in with Vietnam. Tamara and Bryan, what did you guys answer?
Well, I immediately thought of Vietnam. My dad is a Vietnam veteran, and then I started second guessing myself as to, okay, was that the flag, or is that just T-shirts that my dad wears? But I remember seeing images with Vietnam. If you look at it on the map, it kind of looks like a 3, and it was and then I got to thinking about it and thought I remembered seeing flags of South Korea with that image on the map, and we ended up locking in with South Korea.
Tamara and Bryan are locked in with South Korea. Stuart and Jonathan locked in with Vietnam. And that is the first point that goes to me. I'm sorry, both teams got it incorrect. The flags that have pictures of their countries on them are Cyprus and Kosovo. Cyprus and Kosovo. I think the divisive thing maybe threw you guys off. I liked all of the logic, just didn't come up with correct answers.
Fair enough.
All right,
Nice.
moving on to round 1, question 3. Your category is looming large. looming large. Despite collaborations with Levi's, Adidas, and Yves Saint Laurent, this smart clothing product from Google was killed off in 2023. Its smart tag allowed soccer cleats to analyze your movements or allowed you to swipe a jacket sleeve to play music. We are looking for the name of this smart clothing product. 1 minute warning. We are past 4 minutes, so I'm going to press you both for an answer, both teams.
All right. You want to go with the last thing that we said that we can't get better than right now? All right. We'll go ahead and lock in.
Okay. Stuart and Jonathan are locked in. Tamara and Bryan, what did you guys answer?
Well, we had a whole lot of nothing. We remembered that Google Glass was a thing. We know those existed, although we're pretty sure that was only glasses. But it's the only thing we could come up with that we knew for sure existed. So we went with Google Glass.
All right. Tamara and Bryan went with Google Glass. Stuart and Jonathan, what did you guys come up with?
Oh, we typed the exact same thing. I was like, Google Glass is a thing. We said, yeah, but that's not really Levi's thing. That's not Adidas thing.
And the category.
And then we dug into the category name, looming large. And I pointed out, I've done a lot of work in my job with textiles and fabrics and developing some different yarns and things. And so loom jumped out at me as maybe this is some type of woven. And then we tried a couple of different smart fabric names. We tossed out Google Gear and then kept going and ended up coming back to that, which we agree we don't know is a thing. But if there were smart jeans and smart shoes and smart jackets, maybe a good overarching phrase would be Google Gear. So that's what we locked in.
Okay, Stuart and Jonathan said Google Gear, and Tamara and Bryan said Google Glass. You were right to think about that category name, looming large. The product was Google Jacquard. If you've heard of a Jacquard loom.
I know a Jacquard. Yep.
Google Jacquard.
I've never heard of a Jacquard. It sounds like a Wish version of the Captain of the Enterprise.
Well, they made it so, and then they killed it.
They made it so. SEW.
Nice.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow. That was a twofer.
Very good. Yeah, according to Killed by Google, which is a fun place to spend some time, Jacquard was a small tag to make it easier and more intuitive for people to interact with technology in their everyday lives without having to constantly pull out their devices or touch screens. And it was about 9 years old, but yeah, I don't think a lot of people heard about it or it didn't catch on, which maybe why
I would have remembered that if I'd heard about it because, I'm familiar with what that is. A Jacquard weave. I've never heard Google having anything named Jacquard.
Does Jacquard start with a G?
It's Jacquard. So would score decently in Scrabble as well.
Yeah, but they threw us off because they're always naming stuff with G's.
Yes.
All right. After round one, Tamara and Bryan have 10 points, and Stuart and Jonathan also have 10 points. So tie game so far, but a lot of game left. Round two, question one. Category is, okay, Boomer. Your question is, what is the culinary term for the group of people caring for their elderly parents while caring for their own children? Longer life expectancies and waiting longer to have kids have caused this demographic to grow larger.
We're locked in.
Okay, Tamara and Bryan are locked in. Stuart and Jonathan, you can talk it out.
All right, Stuart. So we both kind of went to sandwich because this is a group that's squeezed between two pieces of bread here. Do you have a term? Sandwich generation is the best I have.
Yeah, I liked it. I was typing sandwich covers a culinary term and group of people would be generation. So sandwich generation was good. Sandwich parents, I think I've heard before, but I like sandwich generation better as far as a group of people.
Well, let's go with that then. We'll say the sandwich generation.
Stuart and Jonathan are locked in with sandwich generation. Tamara and Bryan, what did you guys put?
Well, I immediately typed in sandwich generation. I knew sandwich. I remembered hearing it. I wasn't positive on the generation, but that made sense to me. Do you want to add anything, Bryan?
Something popped into my head as a comic answer, and unfortunately it just dropped out of my brain. So Sandwich Generation sounded really good and way better than what I came up with.
So we locked with Sandwich Generation.
Both teams locked in with Sandwich Generation, and both teams are correct. That is the Sandwich Generation.
Whew, thank goodness.
I guess that was coined back in the 80s. It was Dorothy Miller in 1981, but I've been hearing it a lot more lately.
Because all the cool kids are saying it now. And by cool kids, we mean Gen X.
Round 2, question 2. Your category is, speaking of sandwiches, your question is, what ingredient differentiates a croque monsieur from a croque madame? And I apologize for my pronunciation.
Well, we know it's not frog because they're both croaks, so we can eliminate that.
Okay, we're locked in.
So, French sandwiches, I know I've heard this question before. I know there are people in my life who know the answer to this. I am not one of those people because I'm not a food trivia person. But my memory of what I've heard is that this is a case where one of them has a thing and the other one doesn't. Like it's a missing ingredient from one. Mm-hmm. And Tamara agrees with me because I saw that she nodded her head, which is awesome. Thank you, Tamara.
Poker face.
The thing is I don't know what, right? Which thing could be added that indicates that one is a monsieur while the other is a madame?
Yeah. My first suggestion in the thread was based on, I think, the difference between a Reuben and a Rachel sandwich.
Right.
Is that the Reuben has roast beef and the Rachel has sliced turkey, I think, instead.
I don't think it's that. I think it's more.
This is just
a
single
topping.
ingredient.
Yes, single. Mm-hmm. It's not the main part of the sandwich.
Yeah. So
it could be like egg. Egg is a truly feminine characteristic of food, right?
Sure.
Is there a particularly masculine food topping? Yes. Shut up, Bryan.
Sausage sandwich.
You mentioned hollandaise. Is hollandaise a sauce made with egg?
It is one of the French sauces. I don't know.
Sure.
So there's a hollandaise. There's a bournaise.
It doesn't help if we don't know what they're made of.
No, I'm looking at other people's faces.
Yeah, no. I mentioned caviar, which also eggs, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I feel like it might be something as simple as butter, though. Something like, God.
Or maybe one's toasted and one's not. Yeah.
No, I don't think it's that. I think it's definitely
Gonna need an answer soon.
Yeah, well, it says ingredient in the question.
Yeah. Let's go with, I'm going to let you pick between, let's say, eggs or hollandaise.
Hollandaise is a sauce.
Or Grey Poupon.
Eggs Benedict. Yeah, we'll go with hollandaise. Hollandaise!
Hey, Stuart and Jonathan going with hollandaise. Tamara and Bryan, what did you guys lock in with?
Well, I remember hearing this not too long ago, and the very first thing that popped into my head was that it was an egg. And I felt pretty strongly that it was an egg, so we decided to lock in with egg.
Okay, Tamara and Bryan locked in with egg, Stuart and Jonathan with hollandaise, and the correct answer is egg.
Oh, we were so close.
So the egg is usually sunny side up or lightly fried, and it supposedly makes it look somewhat like a lady's hat, which is where the madame comes from.
Oh, whatever. It's an egg. We know where the madame comes from. It's not because of a hat. Your French people aren't fooling anybody. God, that
Tamara had a
pisses me
big
off,
old
Stuart.
smile on her face. You did a good job keeping your face still when it counted.
Oh, man, it was right there.
Yep.
Round 2, question 3. Your category is meme themes. Your question is, this 2024 smash hit by Tommy Richman has provided the soundtrack for thousands of TikTok creators. No word on whether Hilary Swank is one of them.
We're locked in.
Stuart and Jonathan, talk it out.
All right. So you brought up $1 Million Baby immediately, which, yeah, that's her movie. She also did a movie where she was pretending to be a guy to play sports, I think.
Okay.
I don't remember the name of that one, though. You don't use TikTok. I do. And sure, there's dances and the thing is, every song on TikTok is a dance song. And you don't ever look at the name of the song, usually. I don't know, dude.
I'm sorry. I can't have TikTok. My squirrel attention span, I would lose my job and my house and everything if I started watching this.
Can you think of any other Hillary Swank movies? I'm not the movie guy, so.
Can you think of what the most popular TikTok dance phrase was?
I mean, there are literally hundreds, if not thousands, and they last for a few weeks at a time. And there's multiple every time. So I'm sorry, but no, I can't tell you what the most popular TikTok dance. Paint the Town Red was very popular for a little bit. Some of the songs by The Weeknd were popular for a little bit. There's one right now that's not dancing though.
Yeah, it's a hit this year, 2024.
Yeah, no, it's probably something that I'll recognize by sound. I just don't know that that's the name of it. I guess we're going to guess $1 Million Baby. We don't have an answer other than that just taking a stab at the clue. So we can guess $1 Million Baby.
Team old guys.
Stuart and Jonathan, the huge TikTok fans, are locked in with $1 Million Baby. Tamara and Bryan, what did you guys put?
So Hillary Swank, Jonathan, you were thinking of The Crying Game, I believe.
No, I'm not thinking of The Crying Game.
Boys Don't Cry.
Boys Don't Cry?
Boys Don't Cry, excuse me.
Yeah, The Crying Game is a very different thing.
It is. You're right. Boys Don't Cry is the one one you were talking about.
Problematic in every sense of the word.
Mm-hmm. But the one that she won Best Actress for, and I only recently learned that there is also a song called $1 Million Baby. I don't know the TikTok thing. I'm also not a TikTok person. I have family members who would have probably been all over this, but we also felt pretty good about $1 Million Baby.
All right, both teams locked in with $1 Million Baby, and the correct answer is $1 Million Baby.
Hey! All right, so we have to hear this song now. We
Are
all
you
need
pulling
to
it
know
up?
what this sounds like. Hold on, pull it up.
I think you're right. I think you'll recognize it once you hear it.
I'll skip to the middle here. Oh, it's just like every other dance song.
I think that was created by ChatGPT.
Wait till they get to the falsetto part.
Okay, yeah.
Oh,
that's super popular right now. Yeah, no, no. We thank you for the clue.
Yeah. Wouldn't have got it without the hint.
Try to give you a couple ways into these. All right, at the end of round 2, Tamara and Bryan have 40 points, and Stuart and Jonathan have 30 points.
Because of friggin' eggs.
Which you said, and then we didn't go with.
It was 50-50, and I'm like, I'll go with the other person's answer, because that way, if it's right, then I don't have to hear about it if it,
For future reference, I have lost every time I've been on the show, so maybe...
Great. Thanks for that reminder.
Let's go with a pull a Jonathan rather than pull a Stuart.
I don't know. The strategy worked this time. All right. Round 3, question 1. Your category is space.
Space.
Whenever I hear it, I think of, Steve Brule, the space. Anyway, that's what I think of. I'm getting that started.
A TikTok thing, Nikki?
No, it's an old YouTube thing with John C. Reilly, and it's hilarious.
If you started your own TikTok channel, you could be Nick Talk.
Oh, that's an idea. But much
branding.
like Stuart, I am an old and probably not getting on TikTok. I'm just going to wait for the next thing.
All right.
On to the question. Round 3, question 1. Category is space. And your question is, the Apollo 8 mission was the first manned spacecraft to leave Earth's orbit, reach the moon, orbit it, and return safely to Earth. Commander Frank Borman passed away in 2023, and lunar module pilot Bill Anders died in a plane crash in June 2024. Who is the lone surviving member of the Apollo 8 crew? He's arguably more famous for another mission.
Really, Noel? All right, we're going to lock in.
Okay, Tamara and Bryan, you can talk it out.
First
Okay.
time we get to talk.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay.
Humble
No, we were not
diss.
trying to throw shade. Honest. So we're okay. It's somebody who is arguably more famous for another mission. So it's like, okay, well, the two big ones were either Apollo 11 or Apollo 13. The only 13 astronaut that I can remember his name is Jim Lovell, and I've seen Apollo 13 a lot of times. And it's bugging me that I can't remember the other guys' names. But Apollo 11, we've got John. We didn't say John Glenn, yeah, but Buzz Aldrin, Neil Armstrong, Michael Collins. And okay, pretty sure Buzz Aldrin's already passed away. Actually, pretty sure John Glenn's already passed away too.
Lovell seemed to jump out at me more just because he's obviously Apollo 13 was famous. And also this was another one where he didn't actually get to go to the moon. He just got to go around it, which was kind of the big thing with Jim Lovell.
I'm worried, based on what I remember of the movie, that it's going to turn out to be Gary Sinise's character rather than Jim Lovell, and I'm blanking on that guy's name, and it's annoying the hell out of me. I'm okay with going Jim Lovell if you want, because I don't for sure know. I feel like Neil Armstrong's already passed away too.
Yeah, and for some reason I was thinking that as well. So I'm good with locking in Jim Lovell.
Okay, let's go ahead and lock in Jim Lovell.
Okay, Tamara and Bryan are going with Jim Lovell. Stuart and Jonathan, what did you guys lock in with?
Well, we had a good conversation, some similar names. My first thought was Alan Shepard. I think he went to the moon twice, and I'm not remembering if did he go and land twice, or did he go and then go back? I know he's the one that hit the golf ball on the moon, so it's famous for that. Stuart immediately went towards Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin, saying, hey, this is the most famous, and I like the timing. Where, I know they don't go up in consecutive missions, so the idea of going in 8 and then going back in 11 felt better to me than Shepard, who was later. He went on 16 or 15 or something, and even 13 would be a ways later.
We couldn't remember who was alive and who was dead.
Yeah, then we remembered, hey, this question asked about surviving, and so it became, well, I think Armstrong's dead, but I think Shepard might also be dead, and we know that Bald
talked about John Glenn too, right?
Talked about John Glenn at the last minute. He's passed. We think Buzz, if he passed away, it's within the last year because he's definitely been around. And so we went with Buzz Aldrin.
Okay, Stuart and Jonathan went with Buzz Aldrin. Tamara and Bryan went with Jim Lovell. This was the command module pilot on the Apollo 8 mission, and he was played by Tom Hanks in Apollo 13. Your answer is Jim Lovell.
Wow, good job.
At one point in the chat, you guys had both killed off poor Buzz Aldrin, who was 94 years old.
Yeah, it's I'm pretty sure he went to space again last year.
I double checked, but I'm seeing that he is still alive.
Yeah, no, we answered him. We thought he was still alive.
Yeah. I think he went up sort of like Shatner did in one of the private flights last year.
Isn't he the one that punched out a flat earther?
Buzz is the one
a denial or
Yeah, don't mess with Buzz.
Uh-uh.
All right, nice job. Round 3, question 2. Your category is sports.
Sports.
In which sport are you competing if you perform a T-stop, a mohawk, and a crossover?
Oh, if that's the right answer, I'm going with you because I know you would know. Yeah, let's go with it, dude.
Locked it.
Okay, Tamara and Bryan, you can talk it out.
Well, you just barely beat us to it because I think we've pretty much come to an answer as well. Both of us looked at each other, looked at the question, and immediately said, skateboarding? With lack of anything better to say, I think you good with locking that one in?
I am good with locking that one in.
All right. We're going skateboarding.
Okay, Stuart and Jonathan, what did you guys lock in with?
We're not going skateboarding.
No, we went with the other wheels, roller derby. Pretty sure that the T-stop is, you got one skate forward and the other skate is perpendicular to it. And crossover, I think, is as they're working their way around the track, moving one side. I may be wrong. but those both seem to ring pretty true. So we went with roller derby.
All right, we've got one team going with skateboarding, another team going with roller derby. The answer, I would have accepted skating or figure skating, so I will accept roller derby. That is a correct answer.
Woo-hoo.
T-stop, you're correct. That is where one skate is perpendicular to the other and it forms a T. A crossover is when you're gaining speed around turns by crossing one skate over one over the other. And a mohawk is a turn where the skater switches directions by turning both skates inward to face each other. So.
Oh.
And when I originally wrote this, I wrote it as roller skating. And then when I had it play tested, we found out, hey, those exist in figure skating as well. So any kind of skating I would have accepted. So roller derby
except skateboarding, because it's one set of wheels.
Hard to cross those wheels, you know?
I know crossover from having hockey kids, but we don't do T-stops and mohawks in hockey skating. So.
I feel like there was a rom-com movie where a figure skater and got a hockey player partner, and there was a scene with T-stop.
Toe pick.
I remember, or toe pick. Toe pick. That was it. Toe pick.
You got it.
The comeback starts now, Stuart.
Yes.
Round 3, question 3. This question comes to us from Rob Warman. Thank you, Rob. Your category is logos. With more than 84,000 stores across the world, we've probably all seen a 7-Eleven sign. Which of the 6 letters in the 7-Eleven logo is not capitalized?
All right, we're going to lock in.
All right, Tamara and Bryan, you can talk it out.
My initial thought was either the L or the N. Bryan put forth the N at the end, I think, and I think that's correct as well. In my brain, I feel like it looks like a lowercase n, not a capital N. So I am good to lock with N if you agree.
I completely agree. Just picturing it, that N, it does not do the capital N at the end. I'm pretty sure that last letter is lowercase.
Okay. Right. Tamara and Bryan are locked in with N. Stuart and Jonathan, what did you guys say?
It's the same size as an uppercase N, but it doesn't have the straight edges. We also said N.
All right, both teams locking in with a lowercase n, and both teams are correct.
Woo!
Yes.
It's the big 7 with 11 written across it, and n is not capitalized. So after 3 rounds, Tamara and Bryan have 60 points. Stuart and Jonathan still trailing just by a little with 50 points. And
comeback started. We've coming back.
That brings us to the midpoint question. And I just watched The Fall Guy. That made me think of a midpoint. So I want to know, what are Ryan Gosling's top 5 highest grossing films? This is worldwide. Ryan Gosling's top 5 highest grossing films worldwide. I want to know top 5, each of them. Each correct answer is going to be worth 4 points. We are past 5 minutes.
Yeah, we got to lock in.
You need 5 answers.
You need 5, right? 5, yeah.
5 answers, correct.
Well, we named 5 movies, and we're almost certain that he's in all of them. He's in at least 4 of them. Wow, we were bad at this, but y'all have to lock in too. It's time. It's overtime.
So we came up with 4 that we felt pretty good about. Barbie is definitely in there. The Notebook is definitely in there. La La Land.
Yep.
And Blade Runner 2049. We could not come up with a 5th Ryan Gosling title.
It's hard, isn't it?
It is. So it's like, well, I don't know. Maybe he had a cameo in something else. So with lack of anything better, we decided to just throw out something that had lots of cameos. And we're going with Deadpool.
Sure.
All right. So Tamara and Bryan have Barbie, La La Land, Notebook, Blade Runner 2049, and Deadpool. Stuart and Jonathan, what did you guys lock in with?
I think we managed to do worse.
Yeah.
We also said Barbie. We said The Notebook, even though I'm not sold on it. It's 10, 15 years old and made most of its money on Netflix. We said La La Land, which thank God Stuart thought of the name of, because I was going to die if I was like, what's the one that Moonlight beat? And then we named another movie that Ryan Gosling is definitely in, but is way too old to be in his top earning movies. We said Remember the Titans. And then we said Cold Mountain because we can't think of another Ryan Gosling movie, and Stuart cannot differentiate between Ryan Gosling and Jake Gyllenhaal.
Thank you.
It's probably Jake Gyllenhaal, but that was about my 17th Jake Gyllenhaal movie that I guessed. So.
I was enjoying the chat on both sides. You guys were getting so confused with both Jake Gyllenhaal and Ryan Reynolds.
And don't forget, Paul Walker and Ryan Phillippe also end up in that mix of people.
And I think Jude Law, maybe. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
We
always had an ongoing debate, which was the superior Ryan, because the oldest daughter and her cousin always argued for Gosling. And Shannon and I were always like, no, Ryan Reynolds, far better.
Not a bad mix to be in, though. Got to tell you. So it sounds like Stuart and Jonathan also had some similar guesses. You guys also had Barbie, La La Land, and The Notebook, but you went with Cold Mountain and Remember the Titans.
Yes.
So your correct answers are Barbie, La La Land, Blade Runner 2049, Crazy Stupid Love, and Remember the Titans.
Get out of town! Boy.
Notebook did not quite make it. Notebook was only 118 million, and Remember the Titans was the lowest ranked one on the top 5. That was number 5, and that was 136 million.
So what we've learned here is Ryan Gosling movies do not make money.
Barbie sure did.
Barbie did.
That's not a Ryan Gosling movie. That's a Barbie movie.
That's a Margot
He's
Robbie
just a guy who acted in the Barbie movie.
He's just Ken.
Exactly. That's insane. Remember for him to be a major Hollywood star, which he is, and his number 5 top grossing movie that he was been in is 130 from 25 years ago. That's amazing.
Yeah, pretty good. And
was he in Cold Mountain or was it Jake Gyllenhaal?
I remember Jude Law in Cold Mountain.
Oh, probably.
I remember
Stuart
Jake
is blind
Gyllenhaal
to
in
handsome white
Brokeback
guys.
Mountain.
They all
Are
look
you
the same
conflating mountains and guys now?
That's it. Brokeback Mountain, yes, which is over. So Cold Mountain is
Jake
over next to
Gyllenhaal.
Asheville.
Cold Mountain is Jude Law, and it's got Renee
Nicole
Zellweger
Kidman.
and Nicole Kidman.
I was
And
thinking
Jack
Brokeback
White's in
Mountain.
it, too.
And Brokeback Mountain is definitely Gyllenhaal. So.
And he
All right,
plays
That's
it.
what I
Yeah,
was
quit
thinking.
you.
I should have called you on that because I had that thought in my head, but I was like, we don't have time for me to call out that that's not even the movie you're thinking of.
I like that you just laughed out loud and said, probably another Gyllenhaal.
All right, so after the midpoint, Tamara and Bryan have 72 points, and Stuart and Jonathan have 62 points.
All right, that is the end of the first half. But before we go on to the second half, I want to let you know that today's show is sponsored by BetterHelp. You know, we're a trivia show, and this week's BetterHelp ad is focused on learning, which to me is perfect for us, right? Have you ever noticed that as an adult, learning doesn't come as easy and naturally as it did in childhood? We kind of lose our sense of wonder. We kind of think we already know a lot. And as trivia people, I think a lot of us do better at learning than the general population. But that sense of wonder, that sense of openness, and that sense of availability to new information is critical for success in trivia, and it's critical for success in life. That's where BetterHelp comes in. You can reconnect to your sense of wonder. You can go, quote unquote, back to school in a way. When you talk to a therapist and you share things that are new, you share transactions, you share information that you don't necessarily talk to other people about, right? You're able to be more open. And in those conversations, a therapist can help you see things in a different way, open you up to a new way of looking at things, and making a big difference for the way that you view the world. I can tell you that is exactly what happened to me. I remember a few years back when I was going through some things, I had shared exactly what was happening, and I shared all of the detail. And you guys know I can be pretty detailed. I shared all of the information and all of my assumptions and all of my thoughts, and my therapist challenged me. And they said, did you ever think that maybe it's this? And that this was something that I wasn't allowing to be true. But over time, they encouraged me again and again. They were like, if you can just believe this different story for a little while, you might find yourself in a different situation. And I finally listened and tried it, if for no other reason than to prove them wrong, right? And turns out I was wrong. They did open me up. And all of a sudden, I was learning very new things about myself with their help. You can get that kind of help. And you can get signed up to do that today with BetterHelp. I'd say give it a try. It's totally online. It's convenient. It's flexible. You get matched with your therapist through a questionnaire. And if you don't like them or it doesn't work with them, you can switch to a different one and find the one that's right for you without going from place to place to place. It was an incredible benefit for me. I'm sure it will be an incredible benefit for you. Rediscover your curiosity with BetterHelp right now. Visit betterhelp.com/TWA today to get 10% off of your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/TWA. All right, guys, let's get on with the second half of today's game.
All right, starting off round 4, question 1. This question comes to us from my son, Jude Rush. The category is dogs. What 2 breeds of dog are mixed to create the dog called a Daug? And I will post that because if you're confused, you should be. That is spelled D-A-U-G.
All right, we'll lock in.
All right, Tamara and Bryan, you can talk it out.
Okay, so we both agree that the back end of that Daug, D-A-U-G, must be a pug. But I said Dachshund and you said Dalmatian. And okay, well, that's a DA for both of us, but which of those is probably right?
Yeah, I was thinking, I typed Dalmatian, but I was thinking Dachshund in the image I had, because that would make sense, like a Daug, because it's a hot dog. It's a it's a wiener dog.
And just the mechanics of a Dalmatian with a pug doesn't really make sense. So let's keep it safer and go with Dachshund and pug.
I agree.
Very diplomatically put, Bryan. Tamara and Bryan locking in with Dachshund and pug. Stuart and Jonathan, what did you guys put?
I typed and retyped, and after about 6 autocorrects, I finally got Dachshund in, and then I went O-O-U-G. Nope, P-U-G for pug. So we went with Dachshund and pug.
Both teams locking in with Dachshund and pug. And the correct answer is Dachshund and pug.
Woo!
Can I pet that dog?
Can I pet that dog?
Can I pet that dog? How we pronounce Daug. Round 4, question 2. Category is world history. 170 years after the United States gained independence from Great Britain, this country gained their own freedom from the United States. Both countries celebrate their independence on July 4th. And in case you're trying to math that out in your head, the second country gained their independence in 1946.
Thank you.
You could have made us do the math.
We're locked in.
Okay.
Stuart and Jonathan, you can talk it out.
Stuart, this feels to me like it's going to be an island country.
Yeah.
This is the year after the end of World War II.
Yes.
The U.S. was staging in different island countries for the war against Japan, right?
Mm-hmm.
In the Pacific. Midway was a stopping point. I don't think Midway is its own country. Guam is a stopping point. I think Guam is still a territory. American Samoa, I think, is still a territory.
I believe that you're correct.
But there is a Samoa, though. There is another Samoa or something like that. But over there in that vicinity, there is a place called the Marshall Islands. And Marshall sounds like an exceedingly American name. And it is its own country. So I'm wondering about that.
I like that a lot. I wasn't sure they were a country or not, but I knew you've done a lot of work on all the countries.
Well, I know the Marshall Islands is definitely a country. Solomon Islands also a country.
I like Marshall Islands a lot, and the Pacific is working much better than trying to think. Puerto Rico came to mind, but it's still a territory.
Yeah, and the Philippines existed before the U.S. was involved.
Right.
The Philippines is interesting, though, because
I think they got their independence from, is it Spain?
Yeah, there was a war against Spain, and the U.S. helped.
Yes.
And that was in the early 1900s. I don't know if perhaps it became an American protectorate. That's possible.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's what happened.
I like Marshall Islands.
All right, let's try it. We'll say the Marshall Islands.
All right, Stuart and Jonathan are locked in with the Marshall Islands. Tamara and Bryan, what did you guys put?
I was absolutely sure you were going to Jonathan that. I don't know for certain, but I'm a middle-aged white guy, so I, of course, know a little bit about World War II. I remember that one of the big sticking points for Douglas MacArthur was his love of the Philippines. Mm-hmm. And I think that was something that happened right after World War II, was that the Philippines declared their independence from the United States. So we went with the Philippines.
Okay, Tamara and Bryan are locked in with the Philippines. Stuart and Jonathan said the Marshall Islands. And the answer is the Philippines.
I didn't realize that they went from a Spanish territory to an American territory. That was, my bad.
Yeah, they were a founding member of the United Nations, and on July 4th, 1946, during the presidency of Manuel Rojas, the country's independence was recognized by the United States with the Treaty of Manila. Some more information about that.
The comeback is still happening, Stuart.
Yeah, we're just coming the wrong way.
Round 4, question 3. Your category is current events.
Never mind about the comeback.
Yeah,
that's all in the past now.
Oh, come on. Have some faith in yourself. You'll do fine. Kimberly Cheetle resigned on July 23rd, 2024 because of events that occurred 10 days earlier. What was her job?
Okay, you're confident in that date?
As confident as I get these days with this old brain.
Man, I'm right there with you. All right, we'll answer with my first thought then. All right.
Okay, Tamara.
Wait.
Well, then you got to start writing again. Sorry, guys.
Tamara, you good?
I'm good.
We're locking in then.
All
okay,
right.
Tamara and Bryan.
What is your wait, Stuart? Because I wanted to say I was thinking maybe the Canadian women's soccer coach. Stuart is saying maybe Secret Service, and then he was saying the Secret Service thing happened 2 days before, like July 21st, and I was asking him if he was sure of that date, because if it's true, then it wouldn't be that, because this question said 10 days earlier, which would be July 13th. But then he said, wait.
Yeah, the wait was, there's a part of me that feels like I was talking to Brooke about this in person, which would have been during the takeover in Denver, which would have been
the 16th to the 19th.
Oh, it's 16th and 19th? Okay. 16th
like
and
that.
19th?
I don't know, man.
No, I think it was the 11th through the 14th.
Okay, I believe you.
Which would have put it right there. Did it happen while we were in Denver?
Bro, I don't know.
Yeah, you were kind of out of it. We
can say Secret Service if you want to.
I feel like there's this... I have no idea why I would remember talking to Brooke about this. It felt like face to face, unless we were in Denver, which would have been right there around the 13th. Yeah, let's say Secret Service.
All right, we're going to say Secret Service.
Okay, Stuart and Jonathan are locked in with Secret Service. Tamara and Bryan, what did you guys put?
So, right about that time, I was trying to remember specific dates and what was going on, and I remember things happening, and actually, I did not think about anything with that whole scenario. The first thing that popped into my head was there was a worldwide computer problem with CrowdStrike. And I was trying to remember which specific day.
That came later, I'm almost certain.
I know when it happened. It happened on a Friday, and it happened when I was on vacation.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm doing the math, and I'm pretty sure that happened on the 19th. Because I was actually in Omaha at a game convention. I missed out on the fun at the office. Yes, I was
somewhere in Middle America.
I missed out on all the fun in the office when it happened. But we circled around that and didn't have anything better. So we actually put down that she was the CEO of CrowdStrike.
I got to tell you, I think you planned your vacation perfectly because if everyone's dealing with computer issues at work, that's a good time to just not be in the office.
Fact.
Yeah. Bad day to be at the airport, but great day to not be at the office.
Okay. Again, this is concerning the events that happened 10 days before July 23rd, which puts us at July 13th. And I can tell you that was during the Denver takeover. Fortunately, this was nothing that we did that caused this. None of the chaos in Denver caused this resignation. Kimberly Cheadle was the U.S. Secret Service Director.
All right.
This was due to the assassination attempt of Donald Trump. And Kimberly Cheadle was that Secret Service Director. So nice job, Stuart and Jonathan.
The comeback is back on, baby.
Picking up some points there.
Current
So
event.
after round 4... your score is Tamara and Bryan with 92, Stuart and Jonathan with 82. Still within striking distance. Round 5, question 1. Your category is rappers at the Olympics. Question is, Snoop Dogg carried the Olympic torch, but William Jonathan Drayton Jr. has embraced his new role as a sponsor and official hype man of the U.S. women's water polo team. What is Drayton's stage name?
We're locked in.
With meow meows.
Yeah, I was about to ask that.
I think we could 3-2-1 that one.
All right.
I'm down with
I just
that.
couldn't type it.
3, 2, 1. So, Nikki, you count us down.
All right. In 3, 2, 1.
Flavor Flav!
I love the pronunciation on that. You are correct. Your answer is Flava Flav. He, I guess, signed a 5-year 5-year sponsorship deal because he found out that the athletes were working 2 to 3 jobs to be able to compete. So, and they also gave him a waterproof clock because, you know, he always had the clock on. So now he has a waterproof clock, which I just think is the best.
That's brilliant.
Awesome.
All right. Round 5, question 2. Your category is literature, not an audio round.
Literature.
The only character named in this young adult novel is a dog owned by sharecroppers. That dog's name is also the book's title. 2 years after it won the 1970 Newbery Award, it was turned into a movie starring Cecily Tyson. About 1 minute left.
Okay, we're going to go ahead and lock in without much confidence.
All right, Stuart and Jonathan, you can talk it out.
Man, we went through a lot. If the book has the dog's name, you're down to things like Balto, which is not a sharecropper's dog, is a sled dog, and Benji, which doesn't seem like a sharecropper dog. Lassie's too early. It's not Cujo. They wouldn't have won the Newbery. Cicely
White
Tyson.
Fang.
Cujo, that children's book.
Yeah.
Exactly. You know, you said White Fang. That's Jack London. That's earlier than 1970 as well.
Yep.
We just don't know it at all. We just don't freaking know. The only one that we've named that I can't immediately say that can't be right is Benji, which I'm certain isn't right, but I can't deny that it's at least possible that it's right.
All right.
So
and you feel like For the Love of Winn-Dixie was
that's
much
like
newer
in the last 20 years, for sure.
Yeah, but the 70s were just like 30 years ago, right? And then
even still, that's too long ago.
All right, I'm going to need you guys to come up with an answer and lock in.
Yes, Benji. Any bad guess we got.
God help us.
All right, Stuart and Jonathan are locked in with Benji. Tamara and Bryan, what did you guys answer?
So we talked through a whole bunch of possibilities, kicked out White Fang and Old Yeller, because that just did not fit with the sharecropper.
Or Cicely Tyson.
You scared me for a second there with the Winn-Dixie things. I didn't think of that one, but that definitely was way later than 1972, but I think that was 90s. The only one that we could come up with that we're pretty sure is a wrong answer, but couldn't completely dismiss it as does not make sense, was Benji.
Okay, both teams locking in with Benji. I'm a little bummed neither of you picked up on the category clue, literature, not an audio round.
I did, but I didn't know what to do with it.
The book and the dog's name are called Sounder.
Well, it didn't help because I'd never heard of him.
Oh, I've heard of that.
No,
yeah,
that's not in the punch bowl anywhere.
Well, Stuart, you're supposed to speak up if you've heard of it.
Yeah, nope. Yeah, that's
just one of those award winners that I think becomes school reading a lot of times. So
kids had
if you haven't yet encountered it, now you have.
I can picture the cover when she said it.
Yeah.
All right. Round 5, question 3. Your category is acronyms. Like the biblical Noah, the government entity NOAA is concerned with weather and flooding. What does NOAA stand for? And that is NOAA.
How much confidence do you have there, Stuart?
80%.
Ugh. All right, let me think about it too then. I was hoping I could just turn my brain off and go with you.
Yeah. It's not a molten year moment, but it's a B-.
We're locked in.
Okay, Stuart and Jonathan, you may talk it out.
All right, Stuart, agency versus administration. I challenge you. You said National Oceanic Atmospheric Administration, which that is NOAA. So kudos. You got all the first letters right.
Yeah.
I asked if there's any other possible words, and you said association or agency. And I asked, do you like administration better than agency? I should know this. I've been on their website like a lot in the last 2 weeks, but I don't remember if it's administration or agency. I'm 50-50 between them.
Yeah. Administration was the first word that came to mind. But then as I was just typing there, as they locked in, they don't really administer the weather. Of course, they're not weather agents either. But yeah, it's more of an agency than an administration as far as, but they...
Let's say them out loud. National Oceanic Atmospheric Administration. National Oceanic Atmospheric Agency. Which one sounds better? I think I can go with administration, but if you want to switch it, I'm 100% with you.
They handle a lot of data, and the data administration makes a little more sense.
I don't think that's too granular. That's not why they would have named it one or the other.
Yeah. I don't know. You want to flip a coin?
No. You like agency?
I'm good with agency.
All right. We're going to say the National Oceanic Atmospheric Agency.
Okay. Tamara and Bryan, what did you guys answer?
I was absolutely certain that it was National Oceanic and Atmospheric. I said administration right off the bat. We didn't even think of agency. Association came up, but that didn't sound like a government name. So we locked in with National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration.
I think one of us is right.
Similar conversations, just unsure about that last word. Well, NOAA stands for the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration.
That's 3 questions that we've shot ourselves in the foot, Stuart. 3 different questions.
I used to look at it a lot for kayak and river levels and stuff.
So after 5 rounds, Tamara and Bryan retain the lead with 112, and Stuart and Jonathan are at 92 points. That brings us to round 6. Round 6, question 1. Your category is going all the way.
Oh my.
Question is, the exact origin of this phrase is uncertain, but one theory suggests it comes from the length of ammunition belts on World War II aircraft.
What was the category?
Going all the way.
We are locked in with meow meows.
Okay. Meow! Stuart and Jonathan, you can talk it out.
All right. Origin of the phrase. So you typed out, you said end of the line is a railroad. Maybe. Yeah, I agree. That's a railroad. Going all the way.
It's not the whole 9 yards.
It is the whole 9 yards.
Or is it? All right. Well, let's do that then.
It's the whole 9 yards. Lock it in.
All right. You guys are locked in with the whole 9 yards. Tamara and Bryan, what did you guys answer?
Did one of us give a tell there, Jonathan? Because
Nope.
you locked in on that. Okay.
Nope. As soon as I heard it, I was like, yeah, because I knew I'd heard it before, but I wasn't pulling anything. And as soon as he said it, I was like, yeah, that's the answer.
I know. I think you should absolutely listen to Stuart because it's definitely not the whole 9 yards. Because we locked in with the whole 9 yards because it's the right answer.
All right. Both teams locking in with the whole 9 yards, and both teams are correct.
Good job,
That
Stuart.
comes from ammo belts that were 27 feet long. So the whole 9 yards. Nice job on that.
Why
Round
did you
six
say it's
was-
not the whole 9 yards?
I was thinking that it had to do with
Football or golf or
concrete,
something?
concrete trucks and
No.
yards of concrete, something like that.
Yeah, okay. We've had a conversation recently, I think. I had a conversation recently with somebody about it not being football.
Yep.
Because 9 yards is not an amount. It's not a thing that you would try and accomplish.
Okay, round 6, question 2. Horizon, an American Saga, is Kevin Costner's new project, but my favorite Costner Western is Dances with Wolves. In that film, Lieutenant John Dunbar befriends Kicking Bird, Wind in His Hair, and 10 Bears from which Native American nation? And I just want to clarify that when I say nation, that term refers to a tribe. But according to the Native Governance Center, nation is preferred over tribe because it shows respect for sovereignty and the fact that Native nations each have their own system of government. So I am looking for the nation, meaning the tribe.
I say we do it.
Okay, let's lock it.
All right, we're locked in.
Stuart and Jonathan are locked in. Tamara and Bryan, you can talk it out.
Okay. Well, I said it in the chat. I haven't seen Dances with Wolves since the 90s. It's a nation that I know the name of it. It's not one that I hadn't heard before. Iroquois, Apache, Sioux, Cherokee. It was not the Mohicans. We know who the last one of those was. And it was not the Arapaho or the Choctaw or the Chippewa.
And the first one that came to mind for me was the Sioux. I don't even remember if I've seen the movie. I mean, I know I'm familiar with it, but I really don't have any confidence.
Yeah, I don't either. I'm throwing darts. So I'm okay. We both guessed Sioux, so let's go ahead and just lock in with the Sioux.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Okay,
I hope that's not it.
Tamara and Bryan locked in with Sioux. Stuart and Jonathan, what did you guys answer?
So my favorite answer that we typed was it's the nation that calls buffalo Tatanka, because I distinctly remember this. He's got a buffalo skin wrapped around, and they're trying to figure out language, and it says Tatanka. And Lakota
Tatanka
came
is
to
the
mind.
name of a wrestler in the 90s from the WWE as well.
Yeah. Lakota tribe or nation was what came to mind immediately for me, but Sioux I could have been talked into if Jonathan had some degree of thunder about it, but we went with Lakota.
Okay, Jonathan and Stuart locking in with Lakota. Tamara and Bryan said Sioux. Well, there are several subgroups of the Sioux Nation. They're also called Ocheti Shakoween, and the Lakota is the largest and most well-known. So you are both correct. It is the Lakota Sioux.
Oh, I didn't see that coming.
Yeah. Are they both considered
As soon
the
as he
nation?
said Lakota, I was
Yep,
like,
they are
I
both
knew they were
part
Sioux.
of the Sioux Nation. There's the Lakota, the Dakota, and I am blanking on the third biggest one. But yes, Lakota is part of the Sioux tribe, and I'm accepting both. So you both get points for that.
All right.
Thank you for not making us be more specific.
That's a damn shame right there.
I am very impressed you guys came up with Lakota. I did not think anyone was going to get that specific, but you did, so good on
I
you.
watched that movie a lot.
All right, round 6, question 3. Your category is business.
Business.
With nearly 900 radio stations in 151 markets, which media company is the #1 ranked radio owner by revenue in the U.S.? They were formerly known as Clear Channel, but but we love their new name.
I believe we have Toot Toots.
Damn it. Are you locked in?
Yep.
All right, Stuart. I was going to say Clear Channel.
Yeah.
Felt really good about that answer.
We love their new name.
Yeah, that's the clue. We love their new name. Love.
Is it iHeartRadio?
That could be it. I don't know if they are the spawn of Clear Channel, but it is
That's the only thing I can think of to go with that. Yeah.
It fits love. We could do that.
Let's think. It's not something like
it's not Cox,
Pandora or Spotify or anything like that. Yeah. It's not.
No, I like that with the love.
iHeartRadio?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You guys locking in with that?
If he'll say yes.
Yes.
All right.
Okay. Stuart and Jonathan locked in with iHeartRadio. Tamara and Bryan, what did you guys answer?
I think we both had this one pretty quick. Yeah, Tamara's nodding at me. So,
Yep.
yeah, somebody in my office talks a lot about how much all the shows that she listens to on iHeartRadio, and it just sticks in my brain that's the big one now. So we locked it in immediately.
All right. 2 iHeartRadios. And both of you are correct. It is iHeartMedia Inc., but I am accepting iHeartRadio because I think that's what most people know them as. So iHeartRadio is correct, and nice job getting the clue there.
Wow.
Good job, Stuart.
All right,
Hoping they'll talk themselves out of it.
You got a big enough lead.
So low now.
No, we don't.
Talk out of anything.
After the final round of regular play, Bryan and Tamara have 142 points. Stuart and Jonathan, you have 122. Your gauntlet category in honor of the Olympics is rings. So go ahead and message me what your wagers are.
And you said the scores are 142 to 122?
That is correct.
Okay, we are locked in with our wager.
I was told there would be no math.
Mm-hmm.
This part in the show always feels like when they're in The Princess Bride with the iocane powder. It's like, but I think that they think that we think.
Where was I? Australia. Yes! That is my favorite movie.
I just introduced my kids to it.
Okay. Here's the number, Nikki. Our wager's locked in.
Okay.
Yeah. Princess Bride, right up there with Dances with Wolves.
Hey, Dances with Wolves, one of the greatest soundtracks of all time.
So good.
Dances with Brides.
Yeah, I think Ryan Gosling was in that, wasn't he? Maybe it was Jake Gyllenhaal.
First question of your gauntlet category is rings. What video game series includes an ancient ring world structure created by the Forerunners as a weapon to eliminate all sentient life in the galaxy to stop the spread of the flood?
All right, we're locked in.
We're locked in.
Question 2 of the gauntlet is, while the term mafia can be used to describe many crime rings, what is the 2-word name specific to the Sicilian mafia? The name translates to our thing in English.
We're locked in.
All right, Stuart. I feel like that is the right answer, honestly.
Yeah. Yep, I like it.
Okay, we'll lock in.
Okay, both teams locked in. Okay, your final question in the gauntlet. What planet's rings were first observed by Voyager 1 in 1979?
All right, we can lock in.
We're locked in.
Let's go through the questions. First question was, what video game series includes an ancient ring world structure created by the Forerunners as a weapon to eliminate all sentient life in the galaxy to stop the spread of the flood? And Tamara and Bryan, what did you guys put?
So I got really excited for a second there when you talked about rings and video games. Tamara was thinking Sonic, but I was thinking Elden Ring. And then you went to the Forerunners and the Flood, and I realized that neither one of those is right. I haven't played them, but I feel like there's something about the Forerunners in Mass Effect. So we locked in with Mass Effect.
Okay, Stuart and Jonathan, what did you guys answer?
So when you said ring, I started to type in Sonic. And then I thought, oh, wait, Elden Ring. And then you said a ring world and started sounding kind of science fiction-y. And I thought, wait, did Larry Niven make a video game? But my kids played a lot of Halo. And I only played it a few times. I was really bad at it. And I feel like I remember them telling me the monsters that were killing me super, super fast were the Flood. And we liked the way Halo kind of went with the ring theme. So we locked in Halo.
And I hope it's right, because I was thinking Mass Effect as my next thought to share with you, but then you were saying, hey, I think it's Halo. And I was like, okay, that's good. He thinks it.
I never played Mass Effect. I have.
Right.
My other thought was Destiny. I felt like it was one of those Xbox games.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, we've got 2 different answers for question 1. Question 2, while the term mafia can be used to describe many crime rings, what is the 2-word name specific to the Sicilian mafia? The name translates to our thing in English. Tamara and Bryan, what did you guys put?
Well, Bryan pretty quickly typed Cosa Nostra in the chat. And as soon as I saw it, was like, yeah, that tickles something in my brain. And it's definitely a thing. So we locked in with Cosa Nostra.
Okay, Stuart and Jonathan?
We said La Cosa Nostra.
All right, both teams agreeing on an answer there. Last question in the gauntlet. What planet's rings were first observed by Voyager 1 in 1979? Stuart and Jonathan?
So both of us thought the same thing. We know Voyager 1 is the one that goes out and never stops. And I know that Saturn's rings were visible through telescopes. So we both think it's Uranus.
Okay, Tamara and Bryan.
Well, I had to insert a 12-year-old's butt joke in here somewhere. Otherwise, it's not me. So we locked in pretty fast with Uranus.
Okay, both teams also agreeing on that. So let's go through your answers. And we will start with the mafia question. While the term mafia can be used to describe many crime rings, what is the 2-word name specific to the Sicilian mafia? The name translates to our thing in English. Both teams said Cosa Nostra, and both teams are correct.
All right.
What planet's rings were first observed by Voyager 1 in 1979? Both teams said Uranus. Both teams are incorrect.
It's Neptune?
Oh, it's
the
Vulcan,
answer
isn't
is
it?
Jupiter.
Get out of here.
Oh.
Not till 1979. Can you believe that?
Wow.
No way. I never would have guessed that. Wow.
Oh, well, that takes a lot of stress off the next question.
All right.
And what video game series includes an ancient ring world structure created by the Forerunners as a weapon to eliminate all sentient life in the galaxy to stop the spread of the Flood? Tamara and Bryan said Mass Effect. Stuart and Jonathan said Halo, and it is Halo.
I never played Xbox.
Oh, boy. Good job with that, Stuart. Oh, man, that hurts. Freaking Jupiter. Come on.
Well, I'm glad it doesn't hurt Uranus.
Well played.
Nice.
I'm not the only one in the room.
All right, so no one had a perfect score on the gauntlet, so it's going to come down to wagers. So Stuart and Jonathan, what did you guys wager?
We could have gone a number of different ways. We decided to protect against, or to go for the defensive wager. If they're going to lock us out, they need a wager 103, which would put them at 39. So we wagered 82 to stay above that if we both missed it.
Okay, Tamara and Bryan, what did you guys wager?
Well, we talked about, do we go for the lockout? Do we try to protect our lead? Neither one of us felt super confident on rings. So we decided to make them earn the win and took the champions bet zero route.
Oh, God, we couldn't win at all, Stuart.
Oh, never had a chance.
So we bet zero.
Oh.
And proving that champions bet zero, your final scores are Stuart and Jonathan with 40 points. Tamara and Bryan are your champions with 142 points. Nice job, guys.
Nice job.
You guys earned that one.
Yep.
Great job, Tamara.
My record remains perfect.
I
One of us
also
was-
realized I missed an opportunity. When I was talking about the waterproof clock, that was your Flava text.
That was worth coming back to. Well done. All right, guys. Before we go, we'd like to give everybody a chance to do shout outs and promote causes that they care about. Tamara, you're on the winning team. We're going to start with you.
Well, as we all know, the world is a challenging place. It's August when we're recording, but a lot of stuff is going on in the U.S. in the next few months. A lot of stressful stuff, I think, for a lot of people. So feel free to turn it off. That's kind of my advice to everybody is when stuff is driving you crazy and making you bonkers, just shut it off. Walk away. Take care of your mental health by not filling it with the stuff that is causing you the stress.
There you go. Good advice. Thank you very much. All right, Bryan, over to you.
I completely agree. There's a lot going on. I will definitely say make sure that you go vote. It's very important. But actually, the one thing I wanted to touch on was to promote a cause. We recently did Jay Borsam and I did a fundraiser for the Trevor Project, which is a organization that does very good things with suicide prevention in LGBTQ plus teens and crisis intervention for their families. And it's important. So if you can, help others. Be kind.
All right, there we go. Thank you, Bryan. Stuart, we're going to wrap it up with you.
Great. Yeah, quick piggyback off of Bryan's voting comment. I like the phrase I've seen that your vote is not a Valentine, it's a chess move to make the world you want to live in. So please vote. My big cause for the year, talked to several friends about this. Take care of your family estate planning for the people in your life that you love. And take care of yourself. See your doctor. Have those checkups. And as Tamara said, take care of your mental health.
All right. Thank you, Stuart. All right, y'all. That is going to wrap us up. So for Stuart, for Bryan, for Tamara, and Nikki, my name is Jonathan. This has been episode number 494 of Trivial Warfare, where it's not just trivia, it's war. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to Trivial Warfare. Be sure to check out the revamped TrivialWarfare.com as your one-stop shop to submit questions, join the community, and get access to over 150 archived episodes. Warm It Up was written and performed by Matthew Stevens. This episode was edited and produced by me, Joel Sharpton. For help with your podcast, visit ProPodcastingServices.com.